Hey, we're doing some video testing with the SPDS today here in Harlem, New York, Morningside Studios.
Trust me. 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 The maple kind, yeah. The maple kind, yeah. The maple kind, 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 the maple very strange time in my life. You met me at a very strange time in my life. You met me at a very strange time in my life. You met me at a very strange time in my life.
Yes, indeed. Everybody, I hope all is well. Just getting some things situated. We are live streaming from the lab. E-Cussionist here. Welcome. I hope you joined in last week, and if you didn't, welcome to NGO Terra, Radio Terra's partnership with myself in these weekly free lessons for all levels, all ages. This is a lot of fun, and this is actually my first streaming situation, although I've dibbled and dabbled in some live audio, live streaming stuff throughout the course of the pandemic. This is certainly the first official streaming class educational hangout that I've done. So thank you so much to all of our supporters. Thank you so much to Banda Tahakia and Radio Terra for having me. Thank you to Roland Corporation and Tamburo Drums, Icon Microphones, and Prowell International. These are all the people that helped me make it happen. And you know what? Let me go ahead and reconfigure that and reintroduce myself. I realized that last week the way that I had pre-recorded that lesson made it so that you couldn't hear me as well. So I'm hoping that this is a little bit better. I'm using my snare mic. I don't have enough channels in my mixer, excuse me, to have every single mic that I'd like to have happening. But that's why I'm going to use this snare mic right here for speaking and for snaring. So without further ado, like I said, this is weekly lessons for free for all ages, all levels. I am your host, E-Cussionist, and I realized last week that although this is going to be covering grooves for people who are advanced as well as grooves for people who are just getting to the drum set and just learning, some people joining us may not know what the names of every single instrument are. For those of you who are professional drummers and percussionists, bear with me if you can stay here for this part of the class. Otherwise, it's all good. But I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So what my right foot is hitting here, and you can look in the lower right quadrant of the screen. See my cool Crocs. This is the bass drum. On my other foot right here, this is the hi-hat. You can play it with your foot, you can play it with your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, don't try that one at home. it reminds me of the history of the drum set when I start talking about the hi-hat. So we are going to come back to some of the history because we're on the names and we're on the hi-hat. So the hi-hat has had an interesting history and was not always a hi-hat. It was actually a low hat, but it wasn't called the low hat. It was called a low boy. And it really was just the same type of apparatus that the hi-hat is. Let me see. Can you see the hi-hat? Yeah. You can't really see it that well. But the hi-hat, this thing that I'm hitting, it was on the floor, and actually it was on it had the same type of pedal apparatus, but it was only about a foot off the floor, and the cymbals were these hi-hats are 14 inches. I'm assuming those cymbals were probably like 8 inches, 10 inches. As the need for time to be played on other cymbals, the hi-hat rose in height, so that you could get twice the work out of it. Because if you can only hit it with your feet, then you actually can't free up your limbs to do anything else. So I think the hi-hat's a really interesting instrument, and you can get a lot out of it. Moving on, we have the rack tom. And sometimes there's other toms. I have a second tom, and that's what that would be called, the second rack tom. This is a floor tom. One of my favorite drums on the drum set. This right here is the snare drum. The snares, I'm going to release the snares actually. The snares are a bunch of corrugated metal wires at the bottom of this drum that, when fastened to the resonant head on the bottom of the snare drum, creates this sound. Well, this is clean, right? There's no snares on this. Sounds kind of like a high-pitched tom or a timbale. Then when I fasten the snares to the bottom, and you can hear this, it sounds like this. All right, I'm going to put the snare mic back. And there is a very relaxed buzz roll. And what I want to say about the buzz roll is that out of all the rudiments that people do the buzz roll is sort of a lost art, in my opinion. Tony Williams, the great innovative drummer from Boston, he was a big fan of the buzz roll, and he believed that there was a tremendous amount of romanticism in the buzz roll, and that out of all the rudiments that he heard from people when they asked to play Tony Williams something, they'd play him a bunch of stuff, and then he'd ask them to play a buzz roll, and most people, he would say, had terrible buzz rolls. Most people could play a pile of drums, could play a pile of chop stuff, but when it came to playing a buzz roll, they were inept. So I think it's really important to know that something as simple as getting a buzz roll out of the snare drum sounding even and sounding and I hope mine lived up to that, right? We're all learning here, but that's the goal when it comes to a buzz roll, don't you know? So yeah, I think that concludes naming the drums. Again, I'm going to go over them again. Oh, actually, I didn't do the cymbals. So let's talk about the cymbals. This is a large crash cymbal. It can also double as a ride. This right here is a 20-inch crash cymbal that I also double as a ride. And this right here is kind of a trashy crash. Mimics an ozone, but it's a minor. So hi-hats, crash ride, regular crash. I want to drop a couple names here since we're talking about the evolution of the drum set. Some people that you guys should check out. Google these folks. Check out Baby Dodds. Check out Big Sid Catlett. Check out Zuddy Singleton. In fact, I wanted to Wikipedia the evolution of the drum set. So let's see what Wiki had to say real quick as the inventor of the drum set. It says here that this guy named D.D. Chandler, who I've never heard of D.D. Chandler. But I could be wrong. There's a lot of knowledge out here. You know, the drum set is a very interesting thing. Oh, I also have to mention that the drum set didn't even become called the drum set, or it started out as the multiple percussion set, but it didn't even be called the drum set until Kenny Clark and Max Roach came along. Max Roach and Kenny Clark, please do your research and check out these people. When the advancements that Baby Dodds, who also helped usher in the raising of the hi-hat, when the advancements of Baby Dodds and Big Sid Catlett and Zuddy Singleton, Kenny Clark, Max Roach, Sonny Greer as well, when these people, Papa Joe Jones, I could never forget you, Papa Joe. When all of these fantastic Black American drummers were inventing this thing, it wasn't actually known as the drum set. There was a lot of different names: the trap set, the tubs, the multiple percussion drum set, or the multiple percussion kit. And Max Roach is credited as modernizing this, even past the advancements of Kenny Clark, who came before him. So, you know, while we're here on the drum set talking about this fantastic instrument, I'm just going to play a little bit and get some sounds. One of the things that is so important in the history of drum set is the idea of call and answer. And I tapped in a lot about call and answer last week, and I'm going to do so even more this week. And we're going to play where I'm going to play 4 bars of groove, and then I'm going to allow 4 bars of groove for you to listen to yourself, and then play. And then I'm going to play myself again, and then you're going to play an idea that is loosely based on what I did. Or if I ask you to play exactly what I'm doing, then that will be part of the lesson. But sometimes we just need to go back and forth and realize that that's how improvisation is really done. That's the cornerstone of listening, is making sure that you are able to listen to what the other musician is doing while you yourself are processing your own musical intentions. So I'm going to play, get some tones. Tap in with me as well if you're here in the comments section. I would love to hear from you. And God, time goes by so fast. So without further ado, let's get some call and answer. Technical difficulties. All right, okay, you got me. So that wasn't 4 bars exactly, but you get the idea. It's a back and forth. It's a conversation. And I didn't ask you to play me exactly what I played back, but it's more so about creating an environment where I play a little something and you play a little something. Uh, so also, I want to continue to acknowledge that this pad right here, my Roland SPDS, is a massive part of my uniqueness and is a big aspect of and source of my creativity. And I'd like to play a little bit with this so that you guys can get a little vibe. So here we go. Yeah, so I realized that I may not have sound checked the audio, so I hope that wasn't blaringly loud or uncomfortable to listen to. But again, this is all part of the learning experience. Please feel free to put the feeling and any feedback of the audio or any feedback of things or subject matters you'd like me to cover in the comment section. Make sure you guys don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Make sure you guys don't forget to also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. My name is Ecussionist. That's ECUSSIONIST. Ecussionist. So that was a little clip of a song called You and Me by Felicia Ross. I run her shows kind of like that with the SPDS. Each song has the different song sections on each pad, and I'm able to trigger either the whole song, which is what I just did there, or trigger different sections. For instance, like in another song, I could do something like this.
Joe Biden
To the right, that's the second verse. Here comes the second hook. Coming to the breakdown. To the drum break. And then finally to the solo. Right, so that's kind of how I can trigger different sections of songs for people while playing the drums to it, and it creates a really big, full sounding live show. And then if you put musicians on top of that, that's how we do it, and it takes it even up another level from there. So that's just an overview of what I do professionally and what I'm fascinated by, which is the combination of drum machines and loops and computers and live drum set, and conditioning our minds to become kind of like soulful computers, more computer-like, and keeping all the human soul that we have. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this lesson. We talked a little bit about the names of the drums. This is the snare drum. This is the tom-tom, mounted tom. This is the floor tom. This is the bass drum. This is the hi-hat. It used to be called the low boy before it was a hi-hat. This is a crash ride cymbal. This is another crash ride. And then this is a crash cymbal. This is the Roland SPDS-X. And I am Matt Vorzimer. And you are now tuned in to Radio Terra's weekly free, all levels, all ages music lessons. I'll be back next week, and we will explore some new stuff. Oh, and don't forget to Google Sid Catlett, Zuddy Singleton, Baby Dodds, Kenny Clark, Max Roach, and there's so many more. Tony Williams I mentioned as well. If you're a drummer out there who knows what a buzz roll is, let's get our buzz rolls together and show some respect to an age-old art of drumming that is getting lost unless you really know what's up. So props out to everybody out there who's got a nice buzz roll together. Ecussionist, I'm out. Love you guys. See you next week at 3 o'clock.